Thanks so much, Mimi. It is truly an honor. And Wyatt, what a game to bring ourselves into here. M80 falling to the G2 core to send them away from their first shot at franchising all the way back in 2024. And now G2 might be the team that sends them away from franchising again.
This is a match that is just happening in the least likely of places in this bracket. To see G2 a potential elimination in 13th to 16th place is outrageous. And yeah, M80, they're the quote-unquote challengers team. But the level of community hype for them coming into this tournament cannot be understated. People were viewing them as a favorite, and one of them is going home today.
That's why that battle against Sentinels before was so set in stone to so many. I see you one revenge match and raise you one that's way longer in the wait. Good 1-4 start for Leaf here. He's been used to doing this on other maps too. With this new harbor change, feels like it'll be perfect to set the screens later on, but M80 with this new Phoenix pilled Nismo, he'll be the first to get the frag and the second. Just keeping the fight going on Cave till BabyBay can stand down 2 more, but ultimately G2's still stuck here. Double rush in, low health pool, but Bonnie can't land those shots.
A moment of brawling from that Phoenix straight away. It's a congested M80 that knew that they had to fight forward, felt like they could be getting flanked. That was the case. Low HP on G2, and Caillou was able to catch Leaf straight away. Just one more sheriff shot to the body of either of these G2 players would undo them.
That recon bolt confirming Trent's position. Caillou able to isolate the fight, but has to do it one more time. Just 4 health to deal with, and he'll do it. 3 for the Sova. M80 on the board with their first pistol round.
Caillou straight away trying to make a statement. Was playing the VCT earlier this year with Sentinels, struggled in the first game with M80, IGLing this team, but comes up with a crucial few kills. I felt like G2 were really set up to win that round, just in that they had everyone on M80 completely encircled in main. It forced them into a bit of awkward pro activity. But even though BabyBay was able to collect those trays, nothing came to fruition. M80 out to that 1-0 lead. And the woes of G2 on these pistol rounds continue. They only got 1 in their last series against Furia. They used to be one of the best pistol round teams in the league. But as of late, serious struggles.
Well, it's a good excuse to try and become the best anti-eco team, because they have been buying stingers so many of these pistol rounds they've been losing. I'll try another cave push. No immediate counteraction this time around. Alvin instead just placating from the screen himself. Wire setup. Dragamo will finally breach through. G2 trying to use this as an opportunity to extend twofold. So they'll default plant. Hold on to that territory with the tide.
M80 players just getting caught behind the walls. We're into a full 3-on-3 retake. The ranged weapons are going to be an advantage for M80 at this very exposed site with long sight lines. Bonnie's trying to close the distance though, get around Pyramid.
So many screens you could set at any point, but Bonnie just decides to skate right into that gap, and Trent is met it. Not predicting how close he could be tied in, and he's still committing to this right on the timing that Nismo throws up that blaze. It's gotta be all SPZ. And it can't be! Just held up in the pocket! And that is the 12th anti-eco after a pistol won so far this tournament. Whereas no other week this group stage crossed like 6.
Yeah, and that is a testament to G2 just constantly trying to force these stingers on round 2. They are accounting for a lot of that stack. Bringing us back to the vintage G2 of last year, where it was endless stinger forces, rushes, and frankly, I think if you're M80 there, you gotta be more apprehensive on that defense, expecting that. I think willing to play back and retake with the ranged weapons. Those 2 guys anchoring in sight, they were exposed in the open, disconnected from each other, and everything just kind of unraveled for M80. I mean, they suffered situations like this against Envy as well, winning pistol rounds and then getting eco. That wasn't even by stingers. That was happening to like Envy with all classics and 1 sheriff kind of buy. So it's brutal that they're able to get off to that hot start and, again, just succumb to a 2nd round loss.
Ridiculous how stalwart G2 has stayed. But as patient as both of these teams are, there is a sort of a stubbornness that's come with them. And so that's what's leading to, you see M80, especially with this recent comp change, being so committal to those stack fights, even when they're in relatively disadvantageous positions. They still know they can win it. And G2, especially with how static their core has to be, with BabyBay on this one-trick chamber, And now with this harbor shift as well, so that you're trying to dynamicize that full death ball push, they're also going to be so willing to just hold it down, brawl it out.
Definitely been wanting to see the harbor here. It's funny because just looking at an interview that Baby Bay did after last week's game, where he says like, well, we don't need to play harbor. We know it's really good, but you don't actually need it. And then 1 week later, they go back to the harbor. Which, yeah, like, Ender was talking about that on the desk. It's just bizarre that they were the team trying to force harbor everywhere at the beginning of last stage and then went away from it everywhere, including the map where he's broken. But yeah, they have gone back to it, and feels like it's definitely for the best. Like, it plays to their style. They're one of the most retake-heavy defensive teams in the league. Like, even by the numbers. On defense, they let the spike go down 77% of the time. That is like 1% off the highest team in the league at 78. So if you're going to be playing for retake constantly, you gotta have the guy that's got the wall and the cove to get on the spike. So like, it just makes sense in every way. This is definitely the right switch for them.
Especially when Leaf is one of the best screen cyclers so far this region as well. He's just been so solid, even when he's isolated to go for those lurks, like we saw in Dort previously. He's so comfortable just setting up that first leg, and yeah, I mean, now with that tide available, it feels like VALORANT is able to play from so many different positions. Before on the Astra, you're so relegated to that command center that you have to work from, and then you spring into the fight. That tempo just not working anymore. Other side of that, Nismo also getting a little homogenized there with the Phoenix as opposed to the KO that we expected for the flashes. And I'm as, happy with it as I am with the shift to the harbor. That being said, it comes down to how well he's known it, how well he's workshopped it, and that blaze timing last round did not look too great. So, let's see if that's fixed.
Yeah, those flash agents, though, that always just is bread and butter. And if there is one trend that we have seen so far from these plans, it is that the teams who are just forcing the meta double duelist Phoenix Neon comp, they are winning the majority of their games. Furia switch to it, they start winning. Envy switch to it, they start winning. So maybe that is just the recipe.
Embracing modernity, rejecting whatever Josh and Kaplan are. Trademark. Hit up. Stack not given away yet. Now it will be with the help of the flash, but G2 has many members to deal with it. Leaf grabbing 3. Easy, flawless round 3. Post-tech pause for G2 to find some stability early on in this attack half.
Let's find out if M80 can bounce back. That mental resiliency is being tested. It was spoken about a lot going into the game against Envy, that they were on a 15-match win streak, unbeatable in challengers to get here. Very first game, they suffer a pretty brutal loss, very decisive from Envy, and now they're forced to, for the first time, confront that defeat, be able to bounce back as a team, and it has to happen in a do-or-die situation against the 4 times America's stage winners in G2. Crazy situation to find themselves in, and an absolute test by fire.
G2 bottoming out here wouldn't destroy their chances for champs, but it would definitely destroy a little bit of their reputation that they've kept since stage 1 of 2024. M80, meanwhile, yeah, like you said, that streak, they have to confront so much of the unknown, but they still have so much unknown to give. Their Sunset hasn't been revealed, will later. Their Summit hasn't been revealed, that won't today. G2 banned it. And this Breeze comp, little bit of weirdness to it. This Nismo Phoenix, I mean, he's always the man to pay attention to on this team. Now even more so.
Look at this fake just being sold by G2. Bonnie's puts it up in main. Serious damage to Leaf is just going to keep those G2 players at bay. And despite the fast lane presence going in through B, the noise made, there's not been an over-rotate from M80.
A great call from VALORANT, realizing there's no immediate blowback. Now they'll fully go in.
Kayu's going to need some serious help. He is fully entrenched in this site. At least has the wall to play around, has to dodge out on that recon. Danger when Jaw is on the swing. M80 need to get here and support. He's pressing forward.
Full push coming through now from the shoulder. Nismo will make his way out. Kayu able to carve his way in, and M80 have taken the backside for now. Now it's Bonnie's turn to activate. First slide in to waste that time. That'll proc the Hunter's Fury out from Trent, and that will track down Bonnie. Good chase. Nismo refragging on the back, so now they've got that spike control, and the Cove was still kept in the pocket. Trent has got both shock darts, though, so as long as he's able to get both off, but he can't. Nismo playing guard dog to ward off the second and tie us back up again.
Serious confidence on display there from Caillou, just sticking in the sight, not trying to give up that space, not playing afraid, and it's also a decision that shows the trust that he has in his teammates to get there to help him. He finds that timing to get the first opening in the post plant. Kill through the wall was nice. It's looking really good today. And M80, yeah, they just bounce back straight away after losing that round 2. Trying to keep that energy really high.
Couple ults to cycle through now for M80. Get way comfier playing the retake now. Especially with the slower rotates that they've been willing to do. They don't want to fall for these bluffs. G2, any bluff can just become a funnel for them. They love playing with this clock. Mangling it. And they'll use it to go for these long-winded pivots on this huge-ass map.
Even now, it's slow working up into this B split. Eventually, if they do get into a post plant, they're going to have ultimates from M80, the Hunter's Fury to come through from Caillou. And speaking of, he just finds Baby on the map.
It's good timing to creep down from Nest, but there's still the backstab available because Leaf was playing his own lurk. And now G2 gonna go for the compress onto just Bonnie, but they're on a time crunch here. Nismo and SPZ on the way back. They're on the elbow. Leaf's got to play to that. Bonnie on his own can at least go for the 1-for. So 2v2 with Bonnie securely having this spike. Or excuse me, jog, and then Leaf guarding here. Is that watched? Oh, it is, but SPZ doesn't get the shot down. And Nismo with that run it back already gone. Has to just go in on the 1. That snakebite already wasting so much time, too.
Yeah, that clock is dwindling. He has to be able to somehow suss out both players. There's just no way. It's a very patient duo from G2 who are going to close this out. 3-piece for Leaf on the round to get it across the finish line. This G2 approach on attack is very interesting right now. It's slow to an extent, but it's only, it kind of feels slow by virtue of how silent it is and the fact that they are just trying to contact walk into these sites so proactively. And the last round we saw Baby Bay just walking into B, tried to break the cam. He gets caught, but then even after that, they continue to try to walk in later. There they just try to contact through again, and it does result in them finding picks. Jaw getting a lot of space into the site. And it's got M80 back on the eco.
And now exploding, just unfurling. And it's been really admirable seeing Jog kind of adjust his personal tempo to that nature for G2. Nismo daring, and Baby Bay will take him up. Early gamble with that pistol, but plenty left for M80 to throw at the wall here.
This is a game, too, where you're really going to want to see Baby Bay bounce back. He is coming off the back of the worst match that he has had so far this year. Playing the chamber full-time. That's the approach that G2 want to have to the meta right now. They want to put him in a comfortable position. But so far in this stage 2, he's had a dip in the stats. But interestingly, the one thing that has stayed really strong for him in terms of the numbers are his first kills to first deaths. He's actually, across stage 2, the 3rd highest in the league of all the partnership teams. Of all the players, he's only behind Neon and Blows, which is crazy. So even though he's not putting up great numbers overall, his ratio for first kills to first deaths is fantastic. It's like 46 to 28. So it's not that he hasn't been providing any value to the team. He's got that on lock, clearly. But if he can expand the impact that he's having throughout the entirety of the game, that is what G2 need from him.
Yeah, the only times he's ever gotten close to the differential he hit last week was the 2 times G2 faced off against Paper Rex back in Santiago. Let's listen to how they handle this next.
Nice fight. We can't help Alex, you're alone. Wait,
slow.
Cancel.
He's
bricks inside. He just tied it. They're not gonna push A. They just use tied.
Mid. Just full pivot B.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2B. Silva Cypher.
Yep. He ulted from
From spawn.
Tunnel. I think it was tunnel.
Yo, I'm gonna smoke off double door. Try to kill this guy bottom mid. Me and you.
One mid door.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a tide.
I'll hold it.
Walking
The
in.
elbow,
Me.
James.
Teleport's ready.
Elbow me.
Close, but
I mean, he's just playing off Cypher cam.
yeah, probably.
Trent's gonna clear B main and elbow.
Trent, I think you can break Cypher shit for Dre.
Yeah, cam's
Okay,
gonna be on
wait
top
for me then.
left.
You can even use your
I'm
dart.
gonna go
Dart on the
nest
top
and
left
disrupt.
After you jiggle this out.
No. Just walk inside.
Okay.
Go side.
Scanning ahead.
Starting for you. It's okay. Cam's on the left for sure,
Probably
bro.
close in.
Close or half wall.
It's above you,
broke
top
cam.
left, Trent. You heard it. Nice.
He popped cage.
On site. Default. Ladder. Started.
Missing one.
30 seconds left.
I'm right side pillar.
One mid.
Where's this guy? Pillar?
No.
Still
Backside.
back nest on me.
Trent,
One nest on me.
ladder.
It's just him ladder right now. Try to control pass.
I know exactly.
Last
Left
player
up.
standing. Spike down B. 10 seconds left.
One more pillar.
One enemy remaining.
Bang!
Good damage.
Slave, you're good.
Hot dog. Let's
dog.
go, bro. Good fucking damage.
Well, G2 making some decent choices in that B carve, expecting Alvin to be there along with Caillou. They're pleasantly surprised when they only have to deal with the one, but then that natural freeze comes back around, and Alvin actually gets to help facilitate the creep back that starts the backstab. G2 prioritizing a bit too much of the outskirts there, thinking that it would be a little more bolstered up.
Yeah, Baby had the call out. He knew someone was going to be playing off of that camera. Yeah, just could not deal with him, hoping to wrap around all the way. It just took too long. Now, M80 maybe hoping to get more proactive down mid. That is definitely the case with Nismo flashing out, but no one to catch on the G2 side. Take a look at this economy for M80. It is in a terrible state. This is a must-win round for them as the exec comes through from G2. It is dense with that Reckoning carving the site in half.
Bonnie will get the first snipe out beyond the tide. But G2 is happy with the space they've got. Joggamo's made it far enough. Tries to breach that tide, and SPC holds his own. Down to 8 HP. And now on the re-up post-plant, Baby Bay's got to try and make that space back. Will breathe that last bit of death into M80's controller. Now we're back to that standardized take-back from beyond. Patient, but dangerous. Bonnie, once again, going to be the first to peek it out. Now with that rifle in tow, tries to juke it away, but Trent's holding it. And now Alvin tries to challenge too. He'll take that, double up onto the follow-up on default. And Baby Bay having to hold it down on his own, almost does. Caillou stays on 21 and keeps M80 on pace.
Man, the way Baby Bay has been playing, I thought he had that. But on the opposing side is Caillou, the IGL for M80, who has been stepping up as an individual in this game on, yeah, what was a must-win round. If M80 lose that, it would have been the third time they've been on an eco in this game already.
One enemy remaining.
But they are able to just narrowly survive around where G2 invest those ultimates into the big execute. It does not go the way they planned. Bonnie's actually picked up that outlaw now, knowing
Yeah.
that a few players on G2 won't be able to have that full armor.
With Joggamo not being one of them, Pry would be huge for Bonnie if he's in the right place at the right time. Trent, the other one on 50, also the first pinprick. So G2's taking extra care to make sure that in the case that this outlaw is present, you're negating a lot of the risk. Leave with another door lurk, but Baby Bay's also made his way up elbow, and this is just so tantamount to the amount of space that G2 can gain in like no time, just so silently. Tough miss.
Wow, the re-swing, that is bold, and just caught on the chase. That's sick from Nismo.
I expect nothing less. Now the double duelist gonna get aggro off of the relay bowl. Bonnie keeping that in his pocket until the third. And that slide allowing him to get all of the space he needs. And now Leaf and Baby Bay have to turn those lurks into wraps. This is a really decent one from Dre, though. Good lord. He's gonna double back to... No, not spawn. Okay. M80 not watching for this too hard. SPZ the only one on it. This double duelist is so focused on Puppy Guard and the spike. And the spike alone. Alvin might be able to get the timing on Baby Bay too. That would be rough. Tied down. Leaf taking the fight. Tough bit of the first, but Baby Bay's found the backstab. 12 seconds to go and Leaf will get his own. Refragged up by Nismo, 1v2 for Baby Bay. And he's not got much time at all, with Alvin able to just hide it out. And that's another round of G2 losing to the clock.
Now, without dealing a lot of damage, it's not as if M80 have completely gotten out of the danger zone here. Their buy is not going to be great, still in danger of getting ecoed. This is a round to me that is kind of defined by Bonnie. The reswing with the Outlaw is pure confidence, and then just being aware that even though he's at 47 HP, he's going to get that full stun off, just slide in, go for the next kill as well, collects it onto Valen. It's a bold move, but it's great play from a duelist that is, for good reason, being touted as the best duelist prospect coming out of Challengers right now. It's moments like those where he's showing it.
It's crazy because Bonnie was the one guy on this team that arguably had the least experience out of anybody on it, getting nothing more than podium placement in NA before joining M80. And yet the most has been asked of him this entire season, and he has always met that bar. Everyone else, they have had their bouts and have their demons they want to fight. 2 Ascensions for Nismo, 1 for Alvin. This VCT stage that Caillou hungered for, right back on it again. This team is filled to the brim with players who have grudges. Not with any individual, maybe Valentine a little bit at this point, but...
There's a lot of chips on their shoulders.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot to prove across the board for these guys. Caillou deserves to be here, never should have gotten cut. These players in Tier 2 that have been grinding to earn this spot deserve it. No one has been grinding as hard or as long as Nismo. Years in the making to get here. In the eyes of so many, has deserved to have been here all those years as well.
It was trivial. It was like if you watched Challengers in North America and you were asked, what are those prospects that deserve the next call-up? It's like, you don't even mention Nismo because everyone already knows he is that guy that everyone wanted to get called up. Fast lane in from Jog. He's the only one off of it, though, and the Hunter's Fury to try to facilitate. Now G2 is going to step in, making sure that there's no close chokehold. M80 instead have basically fully committed to the retake game here. 3 on the door, and a couple of them vulnerable off rip here, but Leaf hit by the hot hands, fully detained now. And that Bolt helping out so much. This double duelist core doing so much damage in the short term. Now they've got to go the distance as that spike starts to tick down. Run it back. Available from Nismo. Going to start making that space known, and it'll get Caillou the next. Through the tide they tread, and G2 are fully segmented away. Nobody able to do anything, and Bonnie allowed to do everything. Trent with that finalized shot after the health pool is gone, but he can only get so far. And the lead from M80 is not only confirmed, but extended now.
It's a fantastic retake. The way that they're able to first just deal with Leaf in this isolated situation. Bonnie jumping around in the cross, spots him out into the stun with the Molly combo. Perfect catch. And from there, just able to take advantage of the better weaponry.
Oh my god, we're trading like gods.
This goes here.
And I mean, listen, that was going to kind of be my next point. I don't have to make
Stealing
it.
your job, man.
They were they were kind of trading.
They're trading like gods. No cave presence to start now. Relay bolts early on. Bonnie again! Kids up and running today. And now that Blaze to make them able to take Nest instead of having to double down on that push-up. But Baby Bay, patience, pays off. And A is vacant, except for Bonnie.
Baby Bay is playing with a vengeance right now. He's at 14-6. He is trying to put last week's game fully in the rearview mirror.
Never again.
For all. He is going crazy. And it still hasn't been enough. M80 are ahead. Alvin has an understanding that this space absolutely could have been taken. Someone could be pushed up here. And if Leaf tries to press the matter any further, surely he's going down. Oh my god, even the swing on that, that's crazy.
Just walked in like he was sick of it. Like, why are you still here? Let's go. Get the rest of this done.
Standing ahead.
In the meantime, with that lurk not really doing anything, G2 just kind of have to work with the B-push. Are able to clear out that first bit to start.
Valen can get this spike down. G2 will have the Reckoning to play with. If you're M80, you want to get ahead of that, though, and you want to get Bonnie's Overdrive in straight away.
There it is. That at least clears Trent after he only gets one for himself. Now G2 considering the recreep past the tide after the Mild reset. Bonnie able to use that to take some positional space and just start spraying through default. The counter spray is perfect from Valen, but Alvin has taken that time to circle the boat. Leave it down to the 1v2 for Valen. Inside the cove, that'll get shredded pretty quick, but that also gives away the spray that left M80 so vulnerable. So Alvin will back out temporarily, isolate the fights, 1 down! And now that ultimate comes out from Valen to try to push his way through. That hits Alvin, but Alvin doesn't care! It's M80 again!
They've got all the momentum, the energy from the team. The energy from the team is crazy.
Or a drop plummeting to the floor.
Wow, Bonnie is going off right now. These rounds have all been so close. How many 1v1s has it come down to? Just one player alive on either side, right? That Reckoning is used as well, expended, not available for the last round of this half. And Alvin clutches it out. Baby Bay has done so much, but he couldn't get that crucial kill at the end of that round. The critical moment.
One more shot with what's left. You do have this pit once you're stable. And G2, I mean, they've gotten on site just fine most of the time here. So that fort can get set up. Double duelist on the cave again. Trent the only threat to meet it. If they get this now, it's everything. But yeah, it's the one way will go. Give that space away mildly. You see M80, yeah, they're really not willing to tread too much farther than this. Yeah, they're perfectly content just waiting for the front line to get tempted. If they can placate for long enough, then yeah, G2's worst enemy becomes the clock again.
G2 have loved to walk up mid and try to go for these splits. That's a great catch from Trent on the A side of the map.
Fine with that trade away, but now they've been funneled in a door, and SPZ just waiting on it. It takes Jog's slide to even trade his way through, and that means it's not available for this fight inward, in which they don't really have any intel onto the A site. And they need it. Nismo is tucked on his own margin. Baby Bay, yeah.
Real chance for him. It's so scrappy from G2. The team play to deal with SPZ and door was not there.
No.
Could have waited for Jaw to slide, then Leaf swings. You know, it's just 1 by 1. Jaw goes down all the way on the opposite side of the map, and Baby Bay forced to press the issue on account of the Cypher ult. 1v3 for Valen.
ISO'd swept, no time to do anything else but just play your way through it, and Valen can't even get one. It's an 8-4 half on defense for Breeze, a map that M80 hasn't played for months, and they look so solid on it so far.
This half started with them winning the pistol and then losing the round 2 to the G2 force, getting sent to the eco. But they bounce back, capture all of the momentum, and end this half with a 6-round run. Some highlight moments from every player, and it's moments like that where it feels like G2 are just a little bit out of sorts. The Leaf and Jaw could absolutely sync up a double swing there.
It's clear this is not the G2 that everyone likes to see from year to year. Not a G2 that we may see much longer this stage if things keep going M80's way. We'll take a short break for halftime here on map 1.
Alvin Boy, how has your VCT experience been so far? And is there something else that's still on like your VCT bucket list to accomplish?
Honestly, my VCT experience so far has been amazing. You know, experiencing the crowd, experiencing the stage, just being up there and experiencing everything has been amazing. On my bucket list, I really want to hit an ace or a clip and just start emoting on stage.
Well, you heard it. Let's get this guy an ace.
Well, M80 are starting us out with a wonderful performance on a map that they have not touched for quite some time now, when it came out that they had started us out by picking Breeze as opposed to what has been classically their best map so far this stage, Lotus. We did expect them to come up with something good, but 8-4 against G2 good, Wyatt. That's a whole other tier.
I'm super impressed. M80 bounced back from an early stumble in that first half as well, with G2 winning the round 2 after M80 won the pistol. They looked fantastic. My eyes are on this Harbor, though. It's been the switch for G2. They're one of the teams that plays the most to retakes. And now that they have the Harbor, it just fits into that style, surely, right? Having the wall, having the Cove Fort. Those weren't options when they had the Astra. It should just bolster their approach to the game that they've already got. We'll see if that ends up actually being the case, though. Might not even matter the way that M80 are playing.
Well, Nismo found early on the window from the 3-stack on G2. A's the obvious option, and Baby Bay isolated on his island. Can't get his. And this one-trick chamber defense attempt from not just G2, but several teams hinges so heavily on that one carry and through, and Baby Bay's been doing great.
And this is where we're going to need to see it from Valen. That Harbor utility coming through for the retake is going to be critical to G2 picking up this pistol round. They've been struggling so much on these pistols so far in play, and they need this one bad.
The Kova get breached. Bonnie already making his way up. Taken care of quick. Now the rest of G2 just blowing through it. No trouble at all. Spaz caught by the recon too in the 1v3. The swinging is good. And G2 can securely take that pistol. You saw M80 really trying to go for whatever players they thought might have been on their own on the outskirts there, but they were so quickly dealt with.
Yeah, wanting as well feels to try to fight ahead of any of the retake utility that would have come in by just taking all this forward space. Trying to plant a bit for backside if possible.
How'd you die? Hot dog.
It's always me.
Hot dog. Hey, nice.
M80 are not going to go for the G2 Stinger buy, but they will get an Outlaw in the hands of Bonnie. Full armor with that one.
Huh.
Definitely could be expecting to go up in an Outlaw duel against Baby Bay, but he's just playing with the Guardian.
Yeah, interesting to see how they're going to try and activate him here, especially if G2 try going forward off of this. Yeah, with the Recon Bolt, Leaf just feels fine. You can just plant here now. There's the shot revealed out. Alvin does get taken care of. But now with that mid space taken, B might still be the move.
Bonnie is trying to take a lot of forward space, find any kind of angle to give M80 an opening, expose a G2 player.
The Trademark spotted him right in time, but the Cove letting him get that peek again. And now that that's been destroyed, he could potentially feign that creep up that he didn't want to go for before.
Oh my god, that timing.
Leaf! Right as the orb comes up, Nismo can still deal with it with a classic. 2v3 now, and Trent, another great proc on a recon.
Yeah, that was critical. That's the Outlaw out of the picture.
Left.
And now the best hope for Nismo is get to that A site, get a plant, and just try to get as many orbs as you can at this point in the round, right?
Yes, indeed. Barely any time to even get this down,
10
too.
seconds left.
You got a hot hands, you got a curveball. You can make something of this.
Spike play.
He doesn't have, he doesn't have time to really get close. But Baby Bay reveals himself kind of early. Shreds him, doesn't kill him. Jog, also there. That's 2 points of contact met. Jog still got the slide, though. Yeah, he's chilling.
Well, 2 orbs. Nismo will take it. That's about all he could have hoped to get out of that situation. So G2 able to win the pistol, able to capitalize on the anti-eco. Outlaw only able to get 1 kill. Still an uphill battle, though. This has been a map where the attackers have definitely been favored. How many times throughout Stage 2 have we seen a situation where a team is down like 10-2 and then they run it all the way back and win when they're on attack? That has happened multiple times, so They are not in an easy place to make this comeback happen. I mean, I say comeback. Of course, they're only a couple rounds away. But, you know, when you have to make up those couple rounds, when it's on the tougher side, it's going to be a task for them. But they definitely have the skill to do it.
Yeah, perpetual uphill battle, but G2 more than comfortable in a place like that. That's where they're going to be fighting from for the rest of this tournament, eh? SPZ the one relegated to that non-rifle after Bonnie's outlaw gamble. He's still got that rifle up. And everyone on M80 actually still has 150. I'm impressed by the conservation outside of the gun. Still able to make this bonus decent. Baby Bay again. Holding down Cave. M80, yeah, the two players that they have on this don't really feel comfortable challenging. Especially with the gun trade that would become of it. So instead it's SPZ who's the, at least, spear tip for most of this trek. Just so he gets prioed, not losing a rifle off rip. Baby Bay backing out, immediately taken out. This door gap is just owned by Bonnie so far. And now Jogamo trying to meet it solo. The relay bolt can slow in time for Valen to get here and throw up this tide too. So it's a double obfuscation they'll have to peek through. Oh, but M80's totally fine with that. They can use that to blossom out onto default as if it were just a cave take. Oh, they're not ready for Jog, though. Nismo falls quick. The slide almost getting the reset. Now the Hunter's Fury on top of default. Trent finds Bonnie, and there's 18 seconds to go. G2's here. Valen wins with the Stinger, too. They'll get the plant down at the very least, but it's still a 2v3 for M80. Caillou holding behind. Gets taken down quick. SPZ in the 1v3. Doesn't even get one. And G2 is sprinting uphill.
M80 are just really apprehensive. They're so scared while that harbor wall is up. They're trying to take their time to circle around it. The utility clear into that corner on Jaw wasn't perfect. Feels like he can't be going 1-for-1 there. But crucially, you just see Trent immediately supplementing him with that Hunter's Fury. Connects onto the other player. Valen wins the games of timing. It's just so many little things going right for G2. Wrong for M80 at the same time.
I got us, boys. Don't worry.
Our nonchalant king today.
Trent is putting up some serious numbers right now.
Did he? No, the button was pressed.
And that is Kaplan getting into the mix with this timeout. Going head-to-head against Josh RT in the coaching booth for the 9th time in VCT history. The rivalry between Kaplan Sentinels and Josh at G2 just defined all of last year. They know exactly how to go up against each other to some extent, right? Though last year just saw G2 dominate the three-peat of America's trophies, and that's why it is absurd to see them in this position right now, where they could get eliminated in last place, 13th through 16th. Baby Bay is trying to stop that from happening. You can see the difference in the numbers he's been able to put up from kickoff in stage 1 to stage 2. There's definitely been a decline on the chamber, but this game has been a bounce back. He was going off in that first half.
100%. He's felt a lot more secure, especially on his own so far. It feels like he's perfectly fine being stuck on the 1-4 or the 1-1-3 and just playing for stall or the trade away. Whatever you can fell on the way. Well, M80 can buy back into this now just with the light armors, so we'll see what Kaplan stratted coming into this. They'll leave Nismo to maybe aggress early on. Yeah, they've got the Cove tossed up for him too.
Patient from Nismo has to be a little bit apprehensive that elbow isn't being controlled. Someone could have swung onto him.
Join back up. Right there. Baby Bay not close. Trademark there instead. He's willing to play more for the door crunch now that Valen's made his way all the way through to the pillar.
Right there.
But yeah, if there's anywhere where there's not a buddy system right now, it is this Unk on the Senti. Fast lane in to facilitate. Nismo with the run it back so that you get a free body if you go down. But Baby Bay doing a nice bit of avoidance to make sure that nobody actually gets that kill. Nismo still manages to find him before the ult runs dry, though.
Now, how can M80 set up in this post plant? They want to fight beyond the wall. It's being thrown down, and the spam is perfect onto Val and Leaf. On the flank, spotted out. M80 are surrounded, but they have the numbers.
Leaf making the long haul now that that lurk was spotted, and Jog trying to use that to take some extra space. Will do it to get at least one. He's still somehow alive. Now launching the overdrive as Leaf makes his way in and gets his own. And Jogamo in the 1v2 on 2 HP. Surely not, right? Surely not! A well-warranted timeout. A well-called round from M80. A restabilization necessary.
Just a slow early round for a moment. Right into the straight-up A hit, and it's Nismo stepping up for the team on the Phoenix. That last-second catch through the run it back. And the spam kill is perfect. And I like that M80, though, as a team, they make that decision to fight in front of the util that was going to come in from Valen. No hesitation. They're up there as a team. It was a round where they bought down to absolute nothing. And now it's G2's economy in a little bit of danger. They have 2 players on 0. Crucial, round 17.
Now that Hunter's Fury from the attacking side to help facilitate. Reckoning too. M80's just dumping it all to make sure this economy is trashed. And Bonnie, comfy, Trent, cornered, gets his own 3 through the side! And Caillou left on his lonesome in an instant. That push looked so good, and then one corner doesn't get checked, and it's toasted. G2 are right back in it.
That is so brutal. That's a better to be lucky than good, but also you're Trent, so you're a top 10 player in the world in 2026. Even if G2 aren't doing well globally, it doesn't matter. You're just one of the best initiators of all time. It's just that kind of moment.
Yeah, not even that big a deal.
That is crazy. I mean, it's criminal that he gets the second one there. It's just a guy tucked in elbow. Valen's there to help. Yeah, he just swings around, just sprays, kills Alvin in elbow. Yeah, that's just brutal. Crazy.
Trent's like, it's always me. Yeah, buddy, it's always you.
There was so much momentum for M80. The team were so hyped up. They switched to the attack side, the better side. They have double duelists, and the lead is slipping.
And now their economy's totaled too. A good recon out.
Oh my god, yeah, of course. Just trying with another one, why not?
Oh my god, just give him more. Bonnie deciding to rip the overdrive. These knee-jerk ultimates are like flipping rounds for milliseconds, and then that's it. Gee, I mean, M80 has yet to get the spike down. They'll creep back into shoulder. Valen actually stuck around, but that overdrive will go down.
Valen tried to swing off the timing of the Cypher ping, but is dealt with by Alvin instantaneously. And now it's a silent Jogamo trying to work his way through B main. Wrap it all the way around, but this trip is perfectly placed. Jaw's wondering why the hell is their last-second tripwire being thrown behind the ladder.
He still finds Bonnie through the shoulder, and Caillou will have his attention turned back just in time for Baby Bay to backstab as the Owl drone comes out. That timing is ridiculous, but Alvin catching Baby Bay on the run and not tracking the slide. Jog once again, keeping it till the perfect moment to finalize. And we're tied back up.
The clutches are going G2's way on this half. M80 was winning all of those kind of situations when they were playing defense. A round that would have flipped everything on this second half for M80. Had they won this eco, saved some of the guns over, they were that close. But Jogamo rips it away. And Kaplan is frustrated and very valid for feeling that way. Knows how significant that round win would have been for M80.
That's the fulcrum there, and now just playing like it's 0-0 again. Yeah, Bonnie's still that guy, though.
That's a huge risk. Baby is pushed in front of that cove, so no one can hold window for him. Trent can't assist him.
Just thinks he can TP in time.
And he is just hard timinged.
Jump out. Wow, Nismo's the one that challenged that too. You would think that you try Bonnie on the other side of that so that Leap gets thrown away, but Nismo just diffs him.
Oh my god, and Trent just counters a Hunter's Fury, brings Nismo down to the... I mean, damn near death, but he does have that heal. Crazy series of events over at B.
Yeah, they did find SPZ, so it is a 3v4, and M80 don't have as much cycling to get onto the site itself. So much comes down to this fast lane, because Nismo's Blaze is also gone.
Yeah, right. He doesn't even have a wall. There's no smokes to cover anything up except for, yeah, this fast lane. They've got to go in with it right now, but Trent is in front of it.
God, he's so consistent on this. And he's still up. Jog's not. Slide tracked. Trent so alone, but they're taking a lot of time to deal with him. I don't exactly like that, Trent! He was prepped to get both, but he'll settle for the one. Valen's still in the 1v2, though. Ways away. Does he even try it? Yeah, he's going for the archway. Wow, Nismo with the run it back pre-plant.
That is really early, trying to cover Alvin in case Valen was headed through main, and he was 10 seconds ago. He readjusted his positioning, going through tunnel so nearly with the catch.
And the double, well executed by M80. Relinquished to very few tools that round and still able to make some good work out of it. Maintaining that lead. And yeah, you're just hoping Baby presses the rendezvous button a couple milliseconds earlier for that kind of deal. But even still, G2 did a good job of kind of drying out the stock. You don't have much left, but with this double duelist plus the harbor, there is always a screen available for you.
Nismo has been coming up with the impact kills on the attack round wins for M80. That jump peek into the reswing on Leaf was bold, and he gets away with it. Really sick play.
Slide in from Jog again, it's beat by Nismo, and it just keeps spraying through! He's got a feeling! Trent, with the hot hands, able to farm out the rest of that health pool, but Alvin able to find Baby in the meantime, peeking out the door again, getting a little too active.
These teams are just so willing to fight each other at the extremities without giving up. Completely going at it, and now it's Trent just trying to work his way back forward if he can. But with the Stinger at this range, what could he accomplish? What could Leaf accomplish? He's all the way back yellow. There's just no way, right?
He was trying to gamble it off of the snake bite, but he was just a tad bit late on that. I think G2 is just running out of things they can flowchart from. Yeah, nigh on impossible to win that kind of thing, and M80 securely take 11-9. No ults in the immediate next, and you could definitely say different for G2, so not even close to out of the woods yet, but M80 getting close to finalizing this map pick of theirs.
Nismo, again, is just that guy for M80 in this round, shutting down the aggressive push, gets the spam kill through the cove. And then away from that, it felt like it was slipping away because somehow Baby's getting a pick in mid. I don't know what's going on, but he gets traded out, and it's all good. M80 are able to stabilize him. And look, if Nismo is going to be playing Phoenix this well, you can just see this team leaning into the meta look and really benefiting from it.
That's my flash initiating GOAT, playing on the secondary. G2 double hold up on default, but Baby with this tour de force holds his own twice over! And Giacomo managing everything else. G2 have a blender this round, and it doesn't take more than 2 ultis. They've got stuff to spare going into the next.
Oh my god, that looked crazy from Baby. The second shot looked nuts.
A turn.
M80 on that super fast split exec into A are just denied by a G2 who commit to full anchoring this site. Oh my god.
Yeesh.
The fast pull-out time is crazy.
That's so cold. And then you see G2, like, this is the party they want to have. Like, they want that specific space to be able to play off of contact. No more, no less. A Goldilocks zone for them this round that forces Kaplan to call a timeout. And you could see Josh hammering this in, knowing how close they are to being able to take this back.
M80 are finding themselves in a painful spot this round that's coming up. They're staring down a couple ultimates on the side of G2, but more importantly than that, they've barely got anything in the bank, and their loss bonus just got reset. So this round could mean 2 for G2. As you have M80, 3 players buying down to effective nothing.
Preparing for that long haul. Seeing what little you can get away with to keep them clawing. Force out, what do they still have, the pit? Yeah, pit in the overdrive. God, Trent's on the verge of a 30 bomb, dude. Unreal from him today. And it's not even just the kills, his owl droning has been so solid to get somebody else in.
Yeah, I mean, in this stage too, there hasn't been one player from G2 stepping up massively individually in critical games to get them over to the finish line, to drop big kill games like this. But Trent is here doing it for them today. This round could be everything. Could break the M80 economy, could theoretically get G2 to match point.
Blocking fire.
Giving Nismo the orb as opposed to Caillou for the Hunter's Fury, but now that Phoenix is one away from his run it back too, and yeah, on 25s with the rifles, you would love to have that extra life in your pocket this round. We've already drawn down to 21 after the return fire, so G2 going to set an even harder equator now.
Patience from M80. They have to be afraid of these sight lines, though, even without the op. That chamber is going to be happy to try to hard hold. And they are ready for that exchange. Forces maybe Bay to just take the safe approach, get out and play for the anchored setup.
You can see he's pissed he couldn't get that head. We'll see if it comes back to bite him.
Here's that
30
round the
seconds
world,
left.
get Nismo the other orb so they can execute into this A side.
There's the execution, immediately just spammed down by 2. They do not care. Alvin winning on the lurk war against Trent, and now ready for Jog to come back into the wire. Doesn't even wait for him to proc it. 2 alone from this Cypher, as M80 comfortably take an A site that's still fully occupied. Again, the snakebite is late, just in time for Caillou to be okay, but Leaf, that gun is doing a lot more for him this time. G2 have the iron curtain that they're using to fully sweep their way through this site, and Alvin has to play hero mode. He's already done too much this round. Make a wish, y'all. It's 11 up. G2 making the climb.
How on earth do they bring that back? 3v5. Trent and Jaw both go down just isolated somehow to Alvin in flank fights. And it still slips out of the grasp of M80. They can't afford to lose that round.
Cage triggered.
You know Kaplan is just livid right now.
And
The awareness from Alvin there is so good. But Leaf just pushes through. He's on 20 HP and he doesn't get traded out. It looked like someone was staring at him. They're just not expecting him to be through. Just right past the wall, but that is ridiculous. I can't believe G2 get away with that. 3 versus 5.
And now that buy's truly trounced.
M80 next to nothing on weaponry. The duelists have a guard. Oh my god, I mean, well, it doesn't, you know, not the Vandal, not the Guardian. It's actually just going to be the Sheriff for Caillou to get the opening, and Valen is exposed and caught.
And who else with that hero rifle? Who else to try to do something with it? Reckoning also to double down on this plant just to waste some time, but even still, G2's not fully in yet. Now they'll throw the Hunter's Fury in too, but Giacomo is still surfing with this overdrive, trying to get tracked back. But all M80 can do is play keep away, and the spike is still not down. Giacomo's overdrive is still not expired, and he's still killing. But Bonnie on the outskirts! These neons! Banner axe! But it's Bonnie who comes up with 4 to get M80 to game point.
That is ridiculous from M80 across the board for Bonnie to close out. How does Caillou just run out and find this opening with Baby Bay on the box? He has to adjust to it as well. But then you have Valen just being caught in front of the wall. And from there, M80 know the win con. They have to press up, get close on those choke points around yellow, play right up next to the Reckoning that they just let loose. Try to choke G2 out, not give them the space to get back in, and then when they do, they are just surrounded. Bonnie flanking across the pyramids. Now it's Josh RT forced into this timeout. G2 won what felt like the most important round of the game. The round that should have gotten them to 12. They put M80 on a terrible bye. They've only got a Guardian and a Vandal to work with. And yet M80 get it across the finish line, and now they're 1 round away from taking Breeze. This map has just been a pain for G2. Ups and downs on it throughout the years. So many comp changes trying to find their identity here. We saw Jaw playing the KO at one point. We saw Baby Bay playing the Neon. They have tried so much. And what we're looking at right now feels like that's definitely the most comfortable option.
Yeah.
They needed that Harbor integration. I think it has been working for them overall. It has been better than if we were seeing Valen playing the Astra here.
Yes.
I think they've made steps forward. But this M80 team are on point today. And they can taste a victory. This would be their first map win in VCT in the play-ins.
Take flight.
So close they can taste it. They have come this close against this core before. No more mistakes. Nismo again gets his before falling. Wow, on a streak already, just trying to make his way through the entirety of the pyramids. Double curveball just to send out Baby with the spray through, and then the double down. He gets the headhunter out after the mag goes. Takes it to a 3v2, and he's still kicking. Still looking for another. Leaf has got his back on the doors. And SPZ, don't you challenge this, Buck. There you go. Still against the 2, and Jogamo with the dash back. Plenty of fuel in the tank. Fast lane available. Slide free 2. No way he could target this. And sure enough, we'll take it the distance and then some here on M80's pick.
Baby and Trent have been outrageous in this game. It really is the Baby revenge tour today. He is determined to show that last game doesn't really matter. I think he said something like, sometimes you're just a bot. and he's just trying to move on from last week. And yeah, he has. This is a ridiculous performance. The swap to the headhunter to get to the second, that is the critical kill of the round. That determines everything it feels like, right? What a play.
Staying a little whimsical about it. Back on the attack now. Trent's been sitting at this 28 mark. He's really due for this 30 before Baby fully catches up to him. But now with M80, feeling comfortable with the intercepts, feeling comfortable with the retake game, but no immediate ult cycle that helped them get so far. But 4 on the defense?
There.
Might have to just go back to convention. Put these double duelists up the cave, cause some intimidation, make sure doors properly watched. Do better, Jeej.
Of course, with this comp, M80 are going to be fighting for A main a lot. That is one of the best aspects of it, that you're just so good at brawling in those enclosed spaces. It's what made 100 Thieves so convincing on this map, to the extent that everyone has followed their lead in the agents that are being played here.
Nismo just playing preventative, double flashes, but Bonnie's got his back. SPZ in the 1v1 here. Baby were feeling the fire early. Nismo challenging, and not with the help of SPZ. That timing is terrible. Rest of M80 has to scope their way in. Bonnie's just got to carve his way through, and he can't get more than 1 down. And this defense is just falling apart.
Bonnie knows that had to have been his moment. He has to make the aggro play there when the team is already down numbers. He was so close. He's coming up on that second kill. But it doesn't come to fruition, and it's put Alvin and Caillou in a horrific position. One of them spotted out, Leaf in the wrap. There's just no way. Yeah. Caillou's had some sick plays in this game, but zero chance here.
Revealing area.
And that is not even... that's M80 really not being as opportunistic as what got them the 12 that they have. Sniffing that blood in the water like Baby shooting through the door onto a body that can't even be hit. I mean, that is... You are... Like, Baby's asking to get taken down by SPZ here. Like...
It's somehow Baby is going to pass Trent in kills, potentially,
yeah, he's
by the time this game is over.
Come on.
It is possible. Well, actually, Trent got 1. He's really trying to retain that lead and get to the 3rd. Respect. But I'm just curious, how many first kills has Baby gotten in this game? I mean, I mentioned at the beginning that is a statistical outlier for him. His numbers haven't been great this stage, but his first kill to first death has been outrageous. He's been doing that and more for the team today.
Bonnie now back on the attack. Here's Baby another one!
Just
Spake it into existence!
endless.
And Trent, with the Owl Drone, fully pushing the rest of the crowd back. M80 feel that they have to dig into this door, especially when the tide is going to go down. But that doesn't mean Valen's gone anywhere. And now the tide to help suss him out. Storm Surge gives Jog the swing, and Bonnie's alone. Suddenly so's the rest of M80. Trying to cut their way through harder, but Jog can sit back, recline, take the space, and let the rest of G2 circle the boat until M80's mincemeat. SPZ alone after it all, and not for much longer. Swiped back, and M80 will have to wait at least a little longer before their first VCT victory. Kaplan mentioned, coming into this game, comfortable losing a map, especially with M80 looking as good as they did on Breeze. And with the lack of information that G2 had coming into this, that confidence can definitely still persist, but, I mean, I could have told you what M80 was picking. Nismo back on that KO. First time we've seen it on it so far this week, and I am so damn excited about it.
A double initiator is so out of the meta, but M80 do not care. Much like G2, they don't want to play to the meta here. They want to play to comfort. In G2's case, that's a lot of Baby Bay Chamber. For M80, it's Nismo on KO, his most played agent historically, almost 4,000 rounds on it across his career.
Comfortably the best in the world on it, most would say. Leaf on this Sage, though, for that secondary Senti.
Spike planted.
Doing already some great work in the pistol to waste some time as the spike starts ticking.
G2 are so good on these B-side post plants, attack or defense. It's been one of the win cons of their sunset this stage.
Baby Bay holding his own for the one. G2 just having a bit of a file-in system. Giacomo on this frenzy, catching both on the back from Boba. And that'll be a quick silencing of a retake attempt here in the pistol. G2 keeping 4. Stable, wow, Jog. Already almost halfway to that overdrive.
The frenzy in Jaw's hands is just one of those guns that looks better with him than anyone else. Makes you want to try it yourself, and then you're terrible with it. But somehow Jaw is just always able to get the value. M80 are going to need to display some seriously good team play.
That's brutal, dude.
When they're fighting on this B side of the map. We've seen G2 earlier in this stage be able to beat 100 Thieves early on with just so much good play over on B. Trent Sky being a massive influence for them. Just a lot of well-timed flashes, syncing things up with the paranoias from VALORANT, for instance.
Bird up from Trent, just to let G2 in. Pretty conventional, pretty good, but M80 stack is here to meet it, and Baby Bay shots are not landing! Nismo catching VALORANT on the TP back attempt, and down to 14 HP against Leaf 73, still has the heal for himself too. This still should be so G2's, but round ain't over.
Leaf gets that heal, and by going to B, it'll give Nismo the opportunity for a weapon recovery. But still, 14 HP against the Spectre. Leaf can just run around and hold down mouse 1. There's no way he should be able to win this.
Yeah, breathe on Nismo when he dies. And any piece of util, which Nismo has a hell of a lot this round, gives away his position early on, so Leaf, process of elimination into one area he'll need to spray.
If there were ever a gun for Nismo to get, though, it would be the Guardian to hit a one-tap headshot. And the Guardian specifically in Nismo's hands, I have seen him do outrageous things over the course of his career with this weapon.
With Leaf on the stairs and the knife already being given away, Leaf is keen to the position, and Nismo is running short on time. Has to make his way back here, too. Yeah, it is toasted. Still, though, close as it can get to winning back that anti-eco early on from M80, despite not buying into the frenzies. Or the stingers, excuse me.
They'll be happy to come away with all of that damage. It's going to put G2 in a fairly uncomfortable economic position. There's going to be multiple players buying down super low.
That's that stubbornness just wearing through. Like G2, there's a certain point in that fight in which it's just not worth it to keep trying to extend beyond the one-way and just start playing close around it, but they choke back in so late, and it leads to a 1v1 as opposed to a 2. Still, pressure alleviated. They are just fine, and now got 4 Phantoms to call their own for this round. Just a quick rush up top, and no patience needed for this one. They want to just scope out their territory and mark it. Relay bolts, traded away. Alvin given a good stage to work with, and Bonnie on the follow-up. Now the slide to reset, but stuck on a bit of an island. Baby Bay again! Where is this man's aim gone between maps? But still, M80 have the retake to do. Fallon ahead of this, Bird to help him out, facilitate, and Fallon gets the first on SPZ, trading of damage. Second Bird to get him to space again! You're kidding!
Nismo back to a clutch situation, and against who else but Valen and Trent in the 1 versus 2. Valen isolated, but he's so quick to react to Nismo peeking around the corner. G2 switch the pace, go for that super fast B split through top mid, where you're just hitting it through the main market, etc. And I thought M80 had a decent response when you have Bonnie backside with one of his teammates just playing off that relay bolt to fight back into Boba. It was looking pretty good. But the torture just never ends for Nismo, man. It never ends. It's still Valorant and Trent, so just getting ahead.
Blinded.
Just keep on running and gunning. G2 flying free as long as M80 will let him. And a one-way once again, well taken by SPZ, but the gun diff leading to G2 still finding first blood. And on a piss poor buy like this, question of how heavily you want to commit to even this part of the retake space. Because, yeah, Nismo is now ISO'd thanks to that slow orb. And this is pretty piecemeal for the remainder. G2 very securely able to make this a 4-0 in every universe, right? Well, Caillou. Okay, good head tap. Now the triple swing in off the slide. That's got good momentum, and Alvin and Bonnie both get theirs. I seriously cursed this one? Come on. Alvin's on one. There you go. Trent, yeah. Feather. Maybe they will land the shot needed. Okay. Still a goose egg for M80, but they never fail to keep it exciting.
Unfortunately, the damage at this point, that's just not going to be of enough significance. The G2 economy is already super strong. It's about getting rounds on the board for M80 against the G2 who have Jogamo going off. This has been the map where he's put up the best performances he's had so far in Stage 2. And again, I think back to their opening match against 100 Thieves. The one map they won in that series, it was Sunset, and it was by virtue of Jaw dropping 31 kills. Baby Bay there with 25 as well.
It's funny, G2, like, the hero moments aren't what make them, but they are what bring them to that next level. Just any of these players having the ceiling to absolutely blister through this.
M80 don't want to give up backside. They want to try to play around that trip, that stairs. Baby Bay, crucial pickup onto SPZ. No smokes now for the retake. Caillou exposed.
They just have to be quick with it at this point, and M80, they see the writing on the wall. G2 understand they can slightly scale and make a mountain out of that molehill. Jogamo feeling free enough to go for the slide. That's for scouting primarily, and he still gets the kill on his lonesome. A comfortable 5-0 now for G2 as their eco and ult cycling look to carry them through the remainder of the half already.
Another three-piece pickup for Jaw. Feels like he's stat padding in a round like that, and it was not an anti-eco. That was a straight-up gun round. G2 just make it look effortless with the textbook execute of this composition. Going through B, walling off market. And it was ultimately a non-factor that they don't even get backside B control. So you had Baby Bay patrolling. He picked up that kill on the rotating SPZ in mid. That's something that Baby Bay has been great on at this map, actually. He's had some really good timings for being able to catch rotators. His lurks have definitely been impactful on Sunset. He's in much better form today than he was against Furia. It definitely feels like he wants to prove that that was just a one-off performance for him.
Yeah, the stars are aligned for G2 to go right back to business as usual, just, you know, on a mild Cinderella run. M80 just still setting this equator. Bonnie ready to proc that hero overdrive if need be. It's a market take to start, only 2 deep. Now the rest of them follow suit. Alvin playing police into contact and now throwing the ult. Doesn't get punished for it because Jog is too busy running, and now he's given away on his own. Still slides through. Bonnie now throwing that ulti out to trade away, and somebody's got to deal with him, and quick. Fast lane to give him that reset, and now both hit by the recon bolt. Bonnie's got all the intel, but not all the frags. Baby Bay on his own, but after flashed, forced to run back to that spike, M80 can clean up enough to get on the board.
I've liked what I've been seeing from Bonnie on this map. His fight timings have been really good. Multiple times over towards B, towards Boba. He's understood how to shut down the attackers when they're going for the split execs. The last round, sadly, the good work he did, it couldn't be capitalized off of, but here M80 are able to come in on time to support and get their first round on the board.
You see Bonnie, who's, I mean, outside of the game, just so reserved, so quiet, so humble. And he's always ready to get his team fired up the second M80 gets on the board. So awesome to see. I'm so glad that he's here, man. I'm so glad that he's finally on this stage. Last year he was on friggin' Burger Boys, getting a podium spot. And now he's getting to show exactly what he's capable of. About damn time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that run in Challengers, not this year, but the end of last year, where he had an unsigned team. He dragged them to the top by just being such a good duelist. And then kind of the classic story of a Challengers duelist, where it's like you see all the potential, but they're a bit rough around the edges, they're lacking discipline. And then with a more experienced team around him, an experienced coach in Kaplan, you're really seeing him hit that next level. In Challengers Stage 3, he was far and away the best Neon. Every statistical category he was #1 in during the playoffs.
Tour de force getting used by Baby Bay just to have that extra bit of economic stoppage. Jogamo is in Narnia in seconds with this overdrive, and it's already about to go, and Alvin just deals with it. Okay, sure. And now we can begin the round, right?
Denied on the widest of swings. Leaf is trying to make up for the loss of player by going for a hero play himself all the way into market. Can he catch the timing, though? Patient.
It puts him on an island as well. Oh, this is a good cut timing as PZ through with the TP. Re-swings it, though. That's good protocol, buddy. Proud of you. It's on Baby Bay. Slide already used to scope him out. Now it's Mizmo to take him. This is the M80 you want to see. Fully in form. As they'll bulldoze Rototiller their way down the site. Valen's the only one left, and Counterspray will get you far, but not against 3. M80 make it 2.
G2 on this attack side love to send Jaw on these crazy missions, like
that was an adventure, dog, a quest.
Yeah, all the way through mid into spawn on this one. Tons of those deep splits through B. This time M80 get the catch, and then they're just so fast onto this retake together.
God, everyone's so good at tracking through smokes now. Remember last year when no one could do that, and then everyone in Tier 1 and 2 can do it now this year? Crazy. You just cannot safely spray through a smoke if you don't have the intel anymore. M80 got punished for that so much this past season, especially. So if anyone knows it, it's them.
G2 feeling pressure for the first time on Sunset. Felt like they might have just run away with this second map. It being their pick, one we haven't seen M80 on. I mean, you're hoping going into this, you had Cap in the interview after the first map say that he's happy with the entire pool for this series. He likes that Sunset is in it. Well, we haven't seen M80 on it. You're going to assume they've been grinding hard on it. They had the boot camp for a couple weeks in Korea. They've been training hard. They know Sunset's going to be in the pool, so hey, at least in their words, they are happy with this map being here. I can't say I'm surprised to see the double initiator, but very, very off meta.
That's the one thing is M80 with that boot camp, they asked themselves to kind of step out of their comfort zone, which could have brought them closer to convention, and then they come back to North America, and it seems like they try to want to step back into that box that they were willingly able to provide. It's a big box, it's a spacious box, it's a unique box, but it's still one that can get read out, and it feels like G2 are starting to understand the character, because they spent all those weeks scrimming against SAD, Nightblood, Division 1, FlyQuest, teams that know and have been learning for months how to defeat specifically M80.
Gotta go.
And so if the character remains, then all G2 has to do is just, you know, execute.
I'm gonna work back towards this A side. Have to wait out those early 0 points, recons, etc. that M80 can throw out. And use the timings after that to actually go for some of this space.
Go, go, go.
Nismo will finally use a pop flash after all that noise is made, but by that point G2's already turned tail and they're gunning it down this market off the help of the dog in the wall.
Go, go.
Such good sustain that Leaf is able to provide. It's immediately burned away by Bonnie, though, but he's not going to stick around. He's going to go for that take aim on the space itself. Caillou, Hunter's Fury from downtown, able to catch Leaf on the rundown. So that's a lot of frontward space taken up, but with Bonnie falling downstairs, he's super vulnerable. You've got to stay farther back, and Alvin on his lonesome for a couple crucial seconds. Every step he takes is just so damn risky, and with this regrowth going, everyone's going to be kitted to take him on. And the double available, Alvin doesn't land a single bullet, and everyone from G2 can turn their attention to their own. Caillou now facing an army of Village before Nismo can even tackle it, and he doesn't even see who gets him. It's one of the only guys about as old as he is. Baby Bay number 3, Nismo number 1 now. A true battle of unks. I think Trey himself said that, didn't he? Coming into this match. Knows the old heads. I mean, these guys have been in the game for centuries. Last time, specifically, Baby Bay and Nismo faced off was back in February 2022. And that was with FaZe Flya, Ghost Koala Noob, Brock, and John QT.
This should do.
That's like today's fantasy squad, dude.
Like, even on that round loss, it feels like M80 are making good proactive decisions. Like, I like the fight back sight. I like the Hunter's Fury that's coming through to help Alvin and Bonnie, but they're not able to sync up, play together, get kills. They end up just being kind of disconnected and falling apart. Right idea, but the execution is not there for M80. And as always on these sunset attacks, it is typically a very patient G2 who will occasionally just throw in the massive pace shift, exploit mid lane kind of round. They're trying to hunt down SPZ, who is on the run towards site, and if he commits to backside, he's going to need help very quickly.
Nismo, great flash timing to catch Jog on the ISO. That's the Nismo we've been looking for. Catches his own for good measure, too. And now the remaining three caught in the elbow. Knife confirms them as well. This is the Nismo KO masterclass, but with the rest of the crowd cleared, potential for G2 to go for another bowl over. M80 have the cross ready, but not the wrap back prepped for. Caillou's got to turn his back to it, and M80 have to fully commit to this.
M80 just a little bit too eager to attempt to close out the round and giving G2 an opening, and you never want to do that, but Alvin has shut them down. What a sick three-piece controlled on the aim. Beautifully done from Alvin, who has had standout moment after standout moment today. Couldn't come up in the last round, but makes up for it immediately.
And yeah, to start that out though, hearing the dash, understanding that little bit of space that you can pounce on. A miracle Nismo made it all the way back there.
With the mid three-piece Corgi spray is crazy. bro, really, that's wild. Respect.
He's like cackling like a little gremlin after too. Job's not finished yet, bro. But M80, they're still willing to like backstep as they catch this aggression, right? They think that momentum is going to be too much for them to bear if they stick to the same spot. They're going to take the horns of this charging bull and just wait until the treads die out. But G2, they want to just roll it over. They want to find the stack, deathball it, keep on treading through. Nismo one away from this null command. Alvin one away from the neural theft. You have so many ways if you find one member of G2 lacking right now that you can engage yourself immediately back in the round. That tempo control is immediately yours.
Just slowly working their way back to Baby Bay, who's been lately inserted towards elbow, retaining the space so the team can go for the exec. Love that TP to give Baby Bay the information, but it's Bonnie on the defense who opens it up by denying the Neon counterpart.
And then Spaz finding the cross, Leaf having to choke up on the barrier, and it works! Bonnie doesn't check for it, and with everyone else turning aside from that LOS, the res gets off for free. Baby Bay taking care of the rest of Spaz's HP as well, and Nismo, on a crumb, is the only one that's left against the two!
I love that from G2. They just group up, realize which players they can isolate, pick off one by one. Oh my god, Jaw is right up here. This timing is crazy. There is just no way that Nismo should ever expect this. You are joking.
One enemy remaining.
There is just no way, but he'll never expect Jaw to be from main. No. This is ridiculous.
There's no way he's checking for this at any point, right? Okay, yeah, we're solid. Yeah,
I mean, no,
every single one of us right now, my guy.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, that interaction
God.
is
What?
a rare one, man. Wow. Nismo once again gets micrometers away from the clutch.
Just so close. That's bizarre. But, I mean, beyond that, though.
I mean, we take those. How did you get there?
Sure do. Oh.
The disbelief. I mean, ridiculous. Regardless of that, though, that was a great G2 round.
Yes.
I really like their pathing around the map. Leaf got such a great res off in the midst of that fight towards A, and then they're able to group up to just deal with the players who were trying to rotate back in, rather than caring about those guys that were in elbow. And because of that, it just opens up the other side of the map. There were a lot of good micro decisions there from G2 to put them in an advantageous position that became a silly one, but they closed it out.
Yeah, those backsteps to the barriers have been beckoning a lot of M80 lately. And they do it without really checking, even though G2 have proven time and time again that they can get those inserts so quick. Like, Leaf posted up on that barrier. The second the elbow leaves, that elbow presence goes and tries to go for the wrap onto the one that, I mean, I guess you know is still there because the barrier was up and you haven't seen the Sage yet. But, like, I don't know. I mean, where else could he be at that point? You're not waiting for M80 to, for the remaining two to crawl up the elbow, or you're not checking that with a molly or a flash? Again, uncharacteristic. This team has to be able to find the devil in the details, otherwise those demons are going to keep beating them down.
G2 much quicker with the pace in this opening round, ignoring mid entirely, working up towards A. Stalled out by the 0 point temporarily. It is a great tool for keeping that Neon at a reasonable pace. What a tap. Bro, there is something about Nismo with the Guardian. It's just his gun.
He's maintaining support after Noise is cut. And the drone as well. Yeah, that'll be the go button for them to hightail it. And with this inability for M80 to really get punished because they're not going beyond the barriers, G2's freezes just ultimately feel like a coin flip a lot of the time here. Slow work from Leaf back is huge, so is the barrier. That null command right after its launch. That is great timing by Leaf to make sure that this site is still kitted out. And yet, Nismo just keeps on fragging. Here he goes. That body down, well guarded for the time being. Trent finding both on the creep up. He should not be doing that on his own. And Leaf confirming his own two after taking care of Caillou. It's yet again a G2 round out of nowhere.
I love that they saved the wall in that instance to use it for backside, expecting that flood to come through. Null command gets used, reasonable to use it, but ultimately all for naught. It takes them a while to have to deal with that wall. They don't all have rifles and guardians. It's awkward, right? And by that time, G2 are just able to set up to fight together backside B. I mean, I feel like a broken record, but every time we've watched them on this map, in that area of it, they are so good at fighting off of each other. The fundamentals there are just so strong. Has M80 reeling 3 rounds on their defense. So they want to make an aggressive adjustment by pushing all the way down mid. G2 want to respond. Jogamo wants to respond.
Can't find the right aggressing tool too. Instead, it's all to get Leaf in on the slow invade. 1 for 1, but that gets rid of a lot of Nismo's kit in the early stages, left to just that fragment after it's all said and done. And G2, meanwhile, they've been poking both bears on A and B site, seeing how far they can make their way in. And Baby Bay, oh, you've danced wonderfully here, man. Bonnie's ready for it. There's a decent space to gain. It's walked instead. Refragged, 4v3.
It's great awareness. G2 know that they can just contact in towards this B site. Jaw playing late for a potential wrap. Come through market. Spike planted for him.
Yeah. All on that ultimate. After Bonnie takes down Valen to start, Trent has to stay close. He's already been revealed. Now that fragment can get used. Overdrive out from Bonnie. Instantly cleared away. And Jogamo can only get the one before anything else can get said or done. It is another 4-8 half, Wyatt, the other way around for M80's defense.
Great round from Bonnie. M80, they make an aggressive adjustment. They push down mid and then understand some of the gaps that have been created elsewhere on the map. Bonnie picks up to find that kill onto Baby Bay with the op. And from there, M80 on this retake.
1 enemy remaining.
Are able to make it look easy. Tough half, though, for M80 overall. G2 are looking so strong in their map pick. Jogamo has stepped up massively.
5 rounds out from knocking away M80's chances at any more Valorant this season. We'll see how they fare after the break.
would say I just feel my element.
Demon 1 is good.
Without Nyack, the biggest difference was the ghosting. It was a immediate change. If you see something and it's not actually there, you're gonna miss your shot. Black Equalizer and Vibrance, I can react quicker to it, I can shoot better at it.
This guy is just spectacular.
And that way I can always trust him, that I can just focus on competing. My performance will always be at the top level.
Zowie.
No hay límites, solo el cielo. No hay límites, ahora o nunca. No hay límites, solo el cielo.
Alan, going up against M80 today, I mean, this is just a blast of the past when you went up against them in Challengers. Are you feeling any nostalgic or getting any flashbacks going up against them today?
Yeah, I told my teammates when I went to the room today, like me and Trent and Josh, this is like a flashback for sure. I think this is a chance for them to get some redemption from back in the day. You know, we took their tier 1 spot, but we're here to show them why we took it, and I'm feeling really confident. So I think it's just going to be like in the past. We beat them, make it easy, and yeah, no jinx.
No jinx there. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Let's get the second half underway and lock in with the #1 VPN, ExpressVPN. Make sure to scan that QR code on your screen. And now just G2 are on the verge of sending M80 home. Once again, far too soon. They tried for years to get to this point, and they have yet to win a single map.
Years of this M80 team trying to play Valorant on our VCT stage. They finally made it, and it's going to require a 9-round comeback to keep this series going, to go to Lotus, which is an amazing map for both of these teams. It would be fireworks if they're able to take us there, but what a mountain to climb it is for them. It would begin with a pistol round. So far in this series, G2 are ahead 2-1 in those. And Jaws pushed all the way out of A. M80 are getting pinched this early into the round.
Bonnie with the first again. And this is a classic market pinch that M80's going for on these pistols. G2 with the active chase down. M80's no stranger to this strat either. Willing to play police
Spike planted.
for the backside, which is actually where they'll end up planting too. Early relay bolt out from Bonnie just to play for time, and that's gonna let Jaw go in for free and get the one. Bonnie overwhelmed after the refrag, and it leads it down to just 2 M80 members left. Barrier also forces the isolated site, so Alvin now relatively on his own until SPZ loops back. Now they're together, and they'll frag out just enough, yes! It's a pistol taken by M80. That is one step towards stable.
It can't be understated how badly they needed that, and their faces, their reactions sell that reality. M80 are still in the map. All begins with a beautiful opening from Bonnie, but when you're watching G2 just play strong fundamental Valorant, set up a good retake, playing around Leaf's wall, it looks like it's over. But you've just gotten another moment where Alvin is involved in a crucial part of a round, getting the crucial kills. He has been really impressive today.
No stinger buy from G2 this time on the anti-eco. I'll respect it at least a little bit harder as the smoke is tossed up to top mid early. It's clear M80 want to start conditioning this nice and early, especially with how strong the knife is up there. Really sculpting this space, but no connection off of it, and Valen has a great backstep off that kill against Gizmo. That's disgusting.
The double tap headshot from the Classic. Back-to-back rounds, we are getting G2 pushing all the way out of the map's extremities before we've even hit the minute mark.
Yeah, Alvin is already getting really hard pressed by these two creeps up. And now he'll get fully sandwiched. At least one on the way down. 13 HP left, makes something out of it, and he will.
I mean, yeah, in that situation, honestly, one feels great.
Yeah, that's a miracle.
He is getting suffocated by G2.
Chaga's already in spawn. G2 about to follow that stack back.
M80 have the right response, though. They flipped the site. planted for Boba, which they have full control of. You still have a Paranoia Spaz to be able to turn out.
Chog already kind of whittled down here, and yeah, with the lack of guns, it becomes a little less strong. Of course, that's when Baby Bay steps into the picture with this Bulldog and starts causing some chaos, surely, right? And Trent's doing a good distraction dance here. They've got to get up to this spike, and ultimately, yeah, they'll just play for some bodies, which almost all of them. And still, SPZ will die to spike, so I mean, especially with not buying those stingers, I'm pretty happy with that round.
Yeah, that is a massive W for G2, that they're able to deal that much damage. M80 would have been in a position to have a reasonable bonus buy put together. Just getting shot down by classics. G2 displaying some solid aim from multiple different players there. Starts with Valen, ends with Trent, and now M80 have to full buy into this with 0 cash reserves. Again, just on a must-win round. Pressure is never easing up.
Trent just spraying through, able to find one before Bonnie tracks it down. Realized that with that first bit of spray, he was likely to get punished. Goes for a little more on his way down. Spaz giving away the barrel, just lets some shots fly as well. These players are staying very intuitive at the moment, aware of when they are in danger. But M80 in such a dangerous zone at the moment. Paranoia out for Valen, and Bonnie can clear it.
Yeah, G2, they know that M80 are just going for that noise cut top mid. They read into it, they Paranoia, they swing out. But it's just a 1-for-1.
So well read the whole way through. Jog ready for the pivot. Still enough time for M80 to do that if they want to, but with the barrier burned, A is definitely a little more palatable.
Cover going out.
SPZ. Kit's gone, 32 HP. Throw your body at the problem, my boy. Oh, it's more than that! It's Leaf with everybody! That is a rough one, man.
Baby just sets up, taking the contact, draws all eyes, and Leaf gets the freest 3K imaginable. Perfect play from that duo anchoring the site. G2 really showing some good awareness throughout that round, though. With the mid re-clear into the adjustment on that A setup, focusing 2 out of their 3 players there. It's really well done. It's got M80 onto an eco. G2 in prime position to take a 4-round lead.
This 3-2. Really challenging this one-way smoke on A. The dog, too. They want to make sure that Alvin's taken care of. At least blocked out. Good stall. But you still only have 2 here to meet this threat against the pistols. It's fine. I appreciate how patiently M80 are still continuing to play this, seeing if they can bait anything out. But they also, it's tough for Alvin to let go of this space because then you give away an orb and there's 3 players on G2 that are 1 away from the ulti.
This is a round where, honestly, M80's damage could be really important if they can collect a couple kills. And because they brought G2 down to just 2 players on the last one, their money is not good right now. They could try to keep a cap on it. Wow, Bonnie's actually using that overdrive.
Wow.
The timing for Alvin, but he's caught by Jogamo.
I don't know what chance Bonnie sees in this, but surely it's something, right? 3v5 push on the post plant. I mean, he's not even using this to fully aggress Boba.
Yeah, it just results in G2 being more than happy to just give that site up, back off, wait, play for the retake. It gets the spike down, gets a little bit of money for the future, but
yeah, all you have to do is just walk into. God, that took
that was
negative time.
The most effortless retake I have seen in my life.
Wow.
Puts Jaw up to 20 kills on the board. This has been his best individual map, I would say. Best map is in Sunset has been his best map in this stage.
One enemy remaining.
This Neon here has definitely been quality. All All right, M80, another opportunity at the full buy. Never had a real bonus round because of the damage that G2 did on that round 2 with the classics. That has continued to have influence over this half. It's continuing to apply economic pressure to M80 to keep G2 in the lead. And their backs are already up against the wall. They're down a map. They're in the lower bracket. Everything going against M80. They have to dig deep in a round like this.
Let's listen into M80 this round, see if they can recover.
One more. One more, Omen.
Freeze for a little bit.
Omen's here too. Wait.
Yes. I'm grabbing go.
Jumper was out mid. Carry your tiles.
I'm only back call.
When you come back, carry back to get
Well,
tiles.
let's just go exit from elbow. It's fine as 3.
Okay, Omen's here. He has no blind.
Speak together. Alvin, take your time coming back. Can we just wait? I'm holding.
I'm on the smoke. Wait, spacing.
Going right.
I'm gonna TP out and y'all bait me, okay?
You peek me.
I'm soaking smoke.
I'm sorry.
I'm 3, 2, 1. I'm peeking.
It was just chamber. It could be tank.
Tripwire destroyed.
I'm walking out. I'm on the short.
Your trial.
Two main.
Flashing Alvin.
I'm sitting out.
Two still.
They're
The other
bingo,
guy's
bingo.
mid.
It's bingo.
Can you
They're all 3. I'm going on this side. You don't see them? They might go
They
back to mid.
gave. They're resetting.
It was all 300%?
Yeah, it was.
They're gonna reset and come mid, I promise.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have a flash after you plant?
No flash.
Okay. I'm looking for one short. They want a short.
Spike.
I'm gonna go Victor flank here.
Okay.
I smoking 5. Could be spawn, okay.
Flash spawn.
Not
2.
yet. Shadows
They're dogging.
traveling.
I'm breaking this. They're about to come out.
In the smoke. He
I'm on my
default
short
with
still.
it,
I'm on this way. TP'd out.
I'm blind.
I'm only with tank.
Last
One tank.
player standing.
Nice.
Good try.
Nice try. All good.
Honestly, like a masterful round from G2. The way they're able to dissect exactly where M80 are working on the map. That duo of Baby Bay and VALORANT to be able to get that pick onto Caillou, who was holding a little isolated with the spike, divided from the other two, and then knowing that Alvin was going to be coming late, they just double up, go back and deal with him because, yeah, throughout this series, Alvin has been isolated on a lot of those lurks, and we even hear M80 calling to allow him to keep lurking rather than trying to gather up with them with a bit more haste.
That's where he's been best this year.
Yeah, G2 just know exactly what's going on, and they pick apart M80. Brutal round to watch. Feels like G2 are just a cut above today. Now, this is a win they need badly, not just in terms of the obvious stakes. If you lose a game in this lower bracket of play-ins, they are done this year and would be relying on the future of other teams to potentially be able to make champions if it doesn't work out with them for the points, right? They're in second place right now. For M80, it's just do or die. They have to win this game, and then they have to win like 7 more games after that, or 8 games to win. It's some ridiculous amount.
Yeah, you're already playing on hard mode coming into the losers bracket, and then you get dealt the dynasty that stepped on your head to make itself. That
G2,
hurts.
they need a statement win. It has been the toughest couple months in the careers of these players in the VCT. The turmoil internationally coming back, missteps here regionally, that's never been the case with them. They have to go on a run in this lower bracket, they have to bounce back, and it looks like the beginning of that might just be coming to fruition right now. 2 rounds away from knocking out M80.
Early dog here. It's going to give away the presence, and Jogamo is going to chomp at the bit here. The Cyber Cage will stall them. But it looks like Alvin's going to duck out, try to fade away to get some damage on the way in. And instead, with the relay bolt, that blood in the water is smelled even deeper. Overdrive thrown in here by Jog, but it's for the tempo swap as M80 have the stack on A site. And everyone from G2 is going to have to pivot.
M80 have found the right moment to get in towards this site. Full 5-on-5 retake. Caillou with the Hunter's Fury. That could be of massive value, though. Right now, he is deep in the site. Looks like he wants to get out of there to set himself up in a better position. Look at Baby Bear. I mean, they know that Alvin is going to go for some kind of lurk timing. He is just patiently waiting it out.
Hunter's Fury. Oh, there it is! Yeah, he stays on. Hunter's Fury back and early here. Enough relief to be able to securely get that res. Bonnie puppy guarding it hard, though, and so Baby Babe will take the fall for it. Now sliding back with you with Spawn. It's got to be all Bonnie to deal with this team. And in the 1v2 to get 5 for the round. Post-res. Leaf guarding the defusal. Slide reset available, but he's got to deal with the double almost! God, you just wish he could do it all! And Leaf still has time after it's all done to get the defuse. Match point 6 times over for G2.
Just a second away, a kill away from a star-making moment for Bonnie. He has been putting his everything into this game today. The aim looked so snappy. He was so close.
You just seem doing everything too. A
But just-
laundry list, just diving back and forth. He gets the slide reset after that second to be able to feign out on the defuse. It's all him that round, and it's not enough.
It's heartbreaking. And it's G2 now on match point. Seeing if they can't just catch someone in mid while M80 want to get back to this A site. They need to win 6 rounds in a row to stay alive on G2's map pick, stay alive in this series and in the play-ins. Nismo's trying to take point. He's been waiting for this moment. Smoke's going to go down, and he deals with Valen.
You still expect nothing less. G2 crunching at the space. Spaz just spamming that fast lane. That's enough to let G2 take that step back, let him get the plant down. Still secure economy, so they'll go for this no matter what. Hell, they've worked with less and gained way more. That'll proc out the overdrive and the neural theft here from M80, and that'll be enough to clear the crowd for sure. For stay standing, I mean, there's ever a round you needed to win.
Sick opening came through from Nismo. Again, the Guardian taps have been there for him today. Valen is shut down. SPZ, good timing on that spray. Things come up for M80 there, keeping it simple, going back to this A exec, but this time actually finding the openers. Couldn't get success in the full retake situation. But that time wasn't something they ever had to deal with.
You want to play? Let's play.
Now 5 opportunities for G2. So they send M80 reeling out of A via that paranoia. M80 look like they want to take space elsewhere. Do they maybe want to go for this split towards B? Yeah, it looks like it. Valen 1 for 1.
Yeah, Bonnie at least getting the trade after that trademark gets procced, and he'll take that space permanently here. Even the relay bolt, he's going to dive into Boba, give it a go against Trent. He instantly meets that. He's so ready! Rest of M80 trying to use that as an excuse to press onto B, but Spike's been dropped in market, and G2's already here to meet it. Trent's still chilling. Jogamo's got the kill. Alvin with the potential hero moment. The dog stunning him, though, sticking him into this, and Alvin expects Trent not to double down on that same angle. The backstab imminent if it's not checked. But with enough time, with enough freezing, as is G2's classic, it becomes that 50-50, and Alvin gets it, but not the shot! And the explosive flame is officially stomped out. 0-4 for M80. Here in the play-ins, G2 stay alive and will at the very least make top 12.
Saw an insane performance from Jaw on this Sunset. Trent, Baby Bay, crazy on map 1. Individuals for G2 were really showing out today, and honestly, that's a great sign because it has felt like in a lot of these series they've needed players to go nuclear, to tap into that top form that we haven't seen enough of recently. We got that from them though today. Great showing on Sunset, pretty dominant on their map pick. Respect to M80. They played with a lot of confidence today, a lot of energy on the stage. We saw some great individual moments from everyone on the team. They all had some highlight reel stuff, but ultimately they were going up against the 4 times America's trophy lifting team that is hungry to make a run in this lower bracket and feel like they have something to prove.
Yeah. If there was anything to light a fire under the seat of G2, it was the threat of losing that reputation even for a second.